and didn't really know too many people going on the trip. But throughout the week that we were there, I really grew close to a lot of the people, and it is a really great experience being able to disconnect from the technological world that we're in and just kind of building relationships with the people that I was with.
I'm Destiny Campbell, and the experience of going to Tremont for the solar eclipse was probably one of the best experiences of my life. I've had a lot of time to really think about it, and going there, having formed the bonds that I did, like Jess said, with the disconnect from the social world. We didn't have any service on our telephones there. So we really got the chance to put our phones away and connect with the people who were around us. And the day of the solar eclipse, we did connect with thousands of people who came into the park, and we got to speak about what we had learned throughout the week, and it was a really tremendous experience because having formed those bonds, having connected with nature the way that we did, it was special. It was definitely special, and it touched my heart because I love nature, and I was excited to go, and I went with a bunch of people that I loved, and we had a good time, and it was really fun, and now I have all of these bonds.
And how have the bonds that you formed during that trip with your fellow students at Fulton High School and your teachers that came with you, how have they continued on beyond the trip?
Well, we're all here right now.
I didn't know Destiny before the trip.
I'm going on, Jess and I actually.
Yeah, we're both going.
I'm going on 2 trips this summer. We're going to go backpacking with the Tremont Institute. And
I'm not going to the second one, just backpacking.
Well, we're both going backpacking for the Tremont Institute, and then I'm going on another trip to explore nature back at the Tremont Institute that we were at. And I think that my connection with nature has definitely improved. Because I am an introvert. I was at home all the time before this trip, and now my mom complains because I'm never home. And I'm always out, and I love going and experiencing nature and looking at the sunset and just being outside. I've just connected with nature so much more, and it's an amazing thing. I love it so much.
How did the program challenge you guys in unexpected ways?
My friend actually, she was on a crutch, and we went on a about 7-mile hike to Andrews Bald, and she was on a crutch the whole way there, and she was a trooper, I have to say. And we've all connected through experiences like that. We were hot, we were sweaty. It was the middle of August. We were hot, tired, and we didn't know why we were doing what we were doing. We just knew that we were doing it, and we were with a bunch of people that we didn't know. But we all got through it, and we got there together, and we got to relax, and we had a good time, and then we got to see the eclipse, and I cried. I really did. You can talk to anybody here. I cried.
For me, it was a lot of trying new food. And I think that same day we hiked into Bald, we did a combined 12 hours. Or not 12 hours, but 12 miles of hiking that day. And so we were out that whole day, and then we went back to Tremont. And then I think the next day is whenever we went to Cades Cove and then spent the night there. So we were out for about more than 48 hours straight.
Cool, thanks guys. Let's have a couple more come on up and join us. In case you guys are just joining us, this is Tremont Institute at Fulton High School launching a brand new fundraising campaign, $50,000 over the next month in partnership with Hike the Smokies to try to launch the 2-year Environmental and Community Leaders Fellowship for Fulton High School students. That's going to involve residential experiences in Great Smoky Mountains National Park and opportunities for these students to bring home their newfound connections and leadership skills to their home communities here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and empower their community to connect to nature and explore and discover the benefits of taking life outdoors, even in an urban setting. That's what the fellowship is all about. We have a couple of students that were also with us last year at the Total Solar Eclipse program, which served as a pilot program for this fellowship. So go ahead and introduce yourselves and share a little bit about your experiences with us so far.
My name is Kayla King. when I was in 6th grade, I had a teacher tell me that there was a solar eclipse going on, like in 2018 of August, and I was just like, I really want to go, and I didn't know how to like get there because like I was only like 16 and have a car or driver's license. So Miss Kennard, she was like, okay, we're going to the solar eclipse in August. And I was like, okay. And so me and my twin, we signed up, and we got into it. And when we got there, I never been like, I'm an outside person. I don't really like bugs, so it's really a hard change. And then like we went hiking. I mean, it was tiring, but it was fun. And then we went to Andrews Bald, and that was really pretty. And the hike back was terrible, but it was fun. And then the food, like Jess said, it was really, I mean, it was different. I mean, it was good, it was healthy, but it was different. So I liked it. I will go again.
Well, I'm John Bradley. This experience meant a lot to me. I not only connected with nature and connected with everyone around me that I probably wouldn't have connected with before, but I also connected with myself and learned a lot about me.
How were you guys challenged personally on the experience?
I would say the hike was a big deal, and like the bugs. I mean, it's not bad. The bugs down here in Knoxville is not as bad up in the Smokies, but the hike was just terrible. But it was fun. We all went through it together, so that made it better. We all struggled together, so.
There's always the hike, yeah. But back to Jess, food is fun to try. Tofu is great though.
What did it feel like to be in Cades Cove the morning of the day of the total solar eclipse and setting up your education booths, your activity booths, and then all of a sudden having this flood of people come through and sharing what you knew, what you had to offer in terms of activities with all those people that day?
I didn't think there was going to be a lot of people showing up, but then like a whole lot of kids came, and like just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces, and they're coloring, and then they're telling you something new, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't know that either. But that's the fun part, just seeing the smiles on their faces.
Yeah, so I thought I would be really overwhelmed when it all started there, but once you're there and everyone else is showing up, you really just get in the zone. And you learn that you can deal with just about anything.
So a big inspiration for creating the fellowship into this 2-year model was the fact that you guys said, upon reflecting on the trip, that everybody deserves to have the types of experiences that you had, and have the feelings that you had in coming together as a group and what you did in the park together. And that really inspired us to go forward and try to build out this program, and it really inspired us to launch this fundraising campaign in partnership with Hike the Smokies. So just tell us a little bit about what it means to you guys to try to make the same types of experiences that you had last year with Tremont in the Smokies possible for other students.
I have to say friendship. I mean, me and my sister are like super close, but like we came closer together to like nature, and then like camping. That was my first time camping and making my own tent. That was experience. It was kind of hard, but it was kind of easy to put the tent up. Hopefully the next people that come, hopefully they'll have fun, learn new stuff, enjoy. I mean, that was the best in my life. So.
Well, just like she said, getting close to friends, that was a lot of great stuff that everyone needs to experience. And being out in nature, staring up at the stars in the middle of the night, missing so many comets, and finally seeing that one. That's something people need to experience.
All right, thanks so much, guys. I'm going to turn over here to Kim Kennard in just a second, but before we do, in case you're just hopping on, this is Tremont Institute. My name is Caleb Carlton. This is David Reedy. We're here at Fulton High School. We are officially launching a brand new fundraising campaign in partnership with Hike the Smokies. trying to raise $50,000 over the course of the next month to launch Tremont's brand new program called the Environmental and Community Leaders Fellowship. It's a 2-year program for juniors and seniors in high school at Fulton High School. And we had a kind of a pilot program for it last year during the total solar eclipse, and this August we'll be launching with 40 students that 2-year fellowship program at Tremont Institute in the Smokies. So a big part of why all of this is happening and why any of this is possible for a school to be involved with Tremont Institute and with the National Park on the scale that Fulton High School is because they have a true champion within their school. And that's this lady right here. Her name is Kim Kennard. She's a science teacher here at Fulton High School. And I met her a couple of years ago, and she's an amazing force for these students and for her community. And she's the real reason that all of this is possible. So we just wanted to hear from her a little bit about what these types of experiences mean for her and for her students, and why she goes the extra mile, puts in all the extra hours, doing all the paperwork, the registration forms, the health and waiver forms for the students, all the coordinating with Tremont to make these types of experiences happen, and all the extra time she's put in this last year working with us at Tremont to design the fellowship and really try something new and ambitious for her students. So Kim, go ahead. What does this all mean for you?
Oh, that's a lot. So it's huge. It's been a dream of mine since I became a teacher at Fulton 9 years ago to be able to take my students on a completely immersive trip in the mountains like this. Every semester I take my kids and my science classes to the Smokies for Parks' classrooms field trip, and it's led by the Rangers, and it's amazing. It's like my favorite day of school all year. I watch students completely transformed in just a matter of hours from that morning, like, do I have to go? I don't want to go on this trip. I don't do the outdoors. To by the end of the day, they're like, the day's over, like that was it, and they love it. But I've always been left with this feeling of regret because I want them to have the overnight experience. Like, my favorite part of getting out in nature is watching the sunset and the stars come out, and just, like a day hike is great, but if those of you, it's the difference between a day hike and camping and really getting all the way out there in nature, unplugging, and I really wanted that for my students. When I was doing those trips, so many of the students growing up in urban poverty don't go hiking, don't go camping. So many of my students had never been to the park before. Some of our students have never left their neighborhoods. So the Great Smoky Mountains could be in Kentucky for all they're concerned. So it was really important. It was important for me to get them out there, to show them that you will like this, trust me. And they're nodding their heads back there. They did. And they learned things that you can't learn from a textbook, you can't learn in a classroom. They still, like, we witnessed this most amazing solar eclipse, and that's not what they talk about. They talk about the deep relationships they formed when you're doing something challenging, you're out on the trail together, working as a team, helping and supporting each other, and you're disconnected from technology, and that was huge. They were afraid of that, and then in the end they realized that was powerful, and that was something, people our age, we've seen the change with technology, and we maybe hiked and camped when we were little, but some of these kids aren't getting it. Without this experience, they wouldn't. So I feel like it's so important for them to be, fully actualized human beings, to slow down and to experience the wonder that is out there, to connect with, like, this beautiful planet that we live on. And I feel like as hikers and as supporters of the park, if we don't make sure the young people have this connection, it may not be there for us. It may not be there for them. So we've got to give them these opportunities and pass down the torch. And they deserve it, and they need it. Students growing up in poverty experience trauma, traumas that I would struggle as an adult to cope with. And when I'm really stressed out, the first place I want to go is, like, get me to a mountain, and I want to decompress. and I want to feel rejuvenated. And students that are having struggles, growing up in poverty, growing up in urban environments, they deserve that experience too. I teach an environmental science class, and one time I mentioned noise pollution, and they laughed at me. They're like, "What's noise pollution?" Because they don't know what they're missing, and so this is really important. The other thing that I've seen lasting, like we're 6 months later, more than that. 9 months later.
9 months.
So they're not just talking about getting to see the solar eclipse. They're talking about the friendships. They're talking about connecting to nature, and they're talking about the sense of empowerment. You hikers know, you look at this trail and you look at the elevation profile and you're intimidated, but when you finally do it, it might be hard, but at the end you have this sense of confidence and empowerment that you can tackle difficult things and you can live boldly. And these kids got to experience that, and they wouldn't. So your support is huge, and this is my dream, and I am not the hero. These guys are the hero, so I'm just really honored to be part of it.
So in case you're just jumping in, this is Tremont Institute with Fulton High School, broadcasting live from Fulton High School. We are partnering with the Hike the Smokies community to try to raise $50,000 over the course of the next month to make a 2-year fellowship program happen. It's called the Environmental and Community Leaders Fellowship for Fulton High School junior and senior students, to bring them into Great Smoky Mountains National Park for immersive multi-day experiences, and then give them the platform to become community leaders and to connect their community here in Knoxville to nature, to outdoors, to the benefits of spending time outdoors and in nature, and to help folks understand that there are amazing resources right here in Knoxville. So we're relying on the Hike the Smokies community to try to make this ambitious fundraising goal happen, because it is such a tight-knit community of park supporters. What a great opportunity for folks to put some of their own resources into connecting the next generation to our park, to our public lands, and giving them the opportunities to build meaningful connections to what it means to be an environmental and conservation leader, and for us as a nation to put value into preserving those kinds of spaces and making those kinds of experiences for our citizenry happen. So whether you could give $5 or you could give $5,000, it doesn't matter. We know that there are 35,000 plus members of the Hike the Smokies community, and if everybody just chipped in a little bit, we would meet this goal no problem. So that's just something to think about. We would love your support. We would appreciate your support deeply. Also, if you have any questions for us, please feel free to ask on the feed, or there'll be contact info at our donation webpage that you can get in touch with us, and we're happy to answer about the program.
And you're welcome to donate if you're on the Hike the Smokies page. The link to donate is on the comment, or is on the words above the video, and then you can also follow the link on the screen behind us to donate. That'll bring you to the same space.
Yeah, we just know that this group has had transformative experiences in the park. You know what it means to be in this park and to have a life-changing experience, to have a life-affirming experience in this amazing place. And we're just trying to make that happen for folks who otherwise wouldn't get the opportunity to come to the park necessarily and have these same types of experiences. And then give them the power to really go forward and create those same experiences and connections in life for others, helping them become the leaders for our future. So we've got a couple of students that are brand new to this whole thing. They haven't had an experience in this fellowship yet. They did not come to the total solar eclipse last year, but they're going to be rising juniors this August, and they're going to come with us out to Tremont for 4.5 days and dive into this whole world in the Smokies. And so come on up here now, and I'd like to hear a little bit about why you guys are excited for the program. So feel free to first introduce yourselves a little bit to whoever's watching out there.
I'm Scott Asia Miller, and I'm excited for this program because the closest I've ever been is like fishing and gardening, so hiking would be something totally new for me.
My name is Jatori Howard, and I mean, I've been to the Great Smoky Mountains, but I've just been there for a day, and then I came back, so this trip will be like a great opportunity because I actually get to wind down and actually like take in the scenery.
My name is Grant, and I feel like this would be a good experience, and it'd be like I'd be getting closer to people from school that I usually wouldn't talk to on a normal basis.
So what have you guys heard from students that came last year that really stuck out to you about their experience?
Well, Keela and Kayla, my friends, they're like, well, she's like, the scenery is like so beautiful. She showed me pictures, and like the pictures were really nice. And I was like, oh, I wish I want to go because like that's like nice photos and stuff. And she's like, they just had a lot of fun. So
I'm really interested about this food because everybody's talking about the food. Like, I really want to know what's that about because I like to eat, but I mean, that's not the point. But I like taking pictures and scenery, and I just like to just get a lot of vitamin D. You know.
Yeah, the food, I think that they were alluding to is we had them try a lot of different backpacking type foods, so dehydrated foods that out on the trail. We had them like rehydrate beans with water, boiling water and stuff, and so they had to try food in a lot of new ways and a lot of new settings. So
I think I'm down with that. I can do that.
Something many Hike the Smokies members are probably familiar with.
Yeah.
And we'll remember utensils this time.
Oh yeah, we forgot the utensils last time, so.
We got creative.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's a really good nature experience.
How do you guys think you might be challenged by this program?
Well, I'm not gonna say like I'm not used to being inside, but like just being in stuff for longer periods of time. But I mean, just put sunscreen on, you'll be fine, right?
I feel like what's going to be challenging for me is controlling my attitude because when I get hot, I get really like aggravated and smart aleck, but I'm going to try to keep that to a low tone. So I love you guys. You guys are good.
I feel like something that would be challenging for me is the bugs because I don't like bugs.
Bring off.
That doesn't always work.
Yeah. One thing we noticed last year that is part of why I like to get higher elevation in the Smokies, the bugs are worse here.
Really?
The bugs are worse here than up in the Smokies. It's cooler. It's a nice escape. You don't believe me, but I promise.
I'm down with that.
Cool. Well, I think, do you guys have anything else you want to share with whoever's watching out there?
Well, whoever's watching, please donate to this great program because this can give a lot of people younger than us the experience that we're about to get next year. So that's great.
All right, thanks guys.
You're
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Bye.
We're excited for August.
Me too.
All right, if you're just joining us, we are Tremont Institute, live from Fulton High School. We're here with Kim Kennard, science teacher here at Fulton High School. And we are officially, right now, today, this moment, launching our $50,000 fundraising campaign in partnership with the Hike the Smokies community. We're trying to raise this ambitious amount of money to fully fund the first 2 years of a brand new type of program for Tremont Institute. It's a 2-year fellowship. It's called the Environmental and Community Leaders Fellowship, and it's for juniors and seniors in high school at Fulton High School, giving them the opportunity to have immersive experiences in the park, in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and then giving them the platform to be change makers, to be real-world leaders, to come back here to Knoxville and create community events, community connections, to help their peers and their families, their friends, and others in Knoxville realize the full potential of what the outdoors has to offer all of us as humanity, what benefits are out there for us to just spend time in nature, to protect nature, to be a steward and a champion of our world around us. So that's just in a nutshell what this program is all about. And if you're just joining us, we're partnering with Hike the Smokies because it's a special community of park supporters, park enthusiasts. And we know that you all have had transformative experiences in the park. We know that you understand the sense of fellowship and community and camaraderie that exists as people experience the park together and connect to one another in the park, meet new people in the park. That's how this group has formed over time. And we know that y'all are champions, and we want to give you the opportunity to pay it forward and to make sure that these types of experiences are possible for everybody, in particular for Fulton High School students that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunities to come and spend multiple days in the park, living and learning, hiking, looking at the stars, camping for the first time, going through all these new experiences together, and then getting to follow up those experiences with a platform for coming back and doing something special for their own communities. So, you guys want to jump in with anything at this point?
I'm just really excited about the part you were talking about. Some of you might be familiar with Knoxville, and we've grown where we've got the urban wilderness. We have all these amazing outdoor opportunities, but if the young people aren't taking advantage of it, then it's kind of like, what's the point? So I'm excited about the new direction that Caleb is taking it with this program, so that when these students have these experiences and they come back and they're empowered and they feel connected, that they'll pay it forward. And so back here in Knoxville, with all of our legacy parks and urban wilderness and expanded greenways, that they can share that with the community, and so it can just keep building. So it's not just the 4-night trip in the Smokies, although that's my favorite, but it's like it's got momentum that could really keep the impact going, and you guys are part of that. So you could be a part of something really positive. A lot of times we just hear about everything's terrible, and you don't want to look at the news and find out the next terrible thing that's going on. And here's a way you can make a positive difference and contribute to that and feel good. So it matters. It matters to me. It matters to our students. So thank you.
And as you know, the Hike the Smokies community, you guys are from all over. It's not just East Tennessee. It's not just from right around the park or North Carolina. And as part of this program, you know, we're trying to look large scale. We're making sure that the fellows, the participants in this program, are connecting to the Smokies, but then also connecting to the world-class nature in Knoxville and the other environmental opportunities all around the area. You know, we have the Cumberland Plateau, we have the Tennessee State Parks, and these fellows are going to get the opportunity to really experience that nature and see how all of the ecosystems are connected, from the urban wilderness and what goes on in Knoxville in terms of pollution, light pollution, and other sources, and how all that is connected to the Smokies and connected to Pisgah National Forest and all of the other different environmental areas in this region. And so that's one of the things that we're really excited about.
If you're joining us from Great Smoky Mountain Institute at Tremont's Facebook page, this is a great opportunity for you to share with your own networks, to get other people excited about Tremont and the work that we're doing, to become a champion for Tremont and get others involved, get them excited about what we're doing, get them engaged in what we're doing, and maybe even also supporting. Maybe people in your network would be willing to donate and help make this program happen as well. So we're relying on these broader communities of park supporters and park enthusiasts to help us realize this ambitious $50,000 fundraising goal in the next month. And we mentioned earlier, but in case you didn't see the first part, for Hike the Smokies, you are our main group. We're really relying on you to push this campaign forward. And as a show of thanks, one of the things that we're working on planning is a in-person meet and greet in August 18th, I believe it is, a Saturday. It's not a football day, so no excuses. Everybody will be able to come out to Tremont Institute and actually meet the students that are part of this fellowship. It's a meet and greet at Tremont Institute for the Hike the Smokies community, so you can connect with one another, but also so that you can connect with the students that you are supporting, that you are making these experiences possible for. And they are going to actually develop a docent activity for you. They are going to take you around Walker Valley, around Tremont's campus, and connect you to the nature and the cultural history that we have right there in our own valley, and maybe show you some things and teach you a thing or two new that you didn't know about the park before. So it's going to be a great opportunity to donate today, help us make this whole thing happen, and then full circle come August, probably have the opportunity to actually see the fruits of your donation and meet the folks who are benefiting from your generosity. So thanks in advance for that.
And I'd like to just jump in and say, mark your calendars for August 18th. You'll see more info from us and also from the Hike the Smokies community about that meet and greet. But then I would also say on June 9th, an upcoming Saturday in 3 weeks, we at Tremont, we're going to be hiking Mount LeConte, and we're going to be up on top of Mount LeConte, probably around LeConte Lodge for a few hours of the day, and we're going to encourage you to come up and either make your donation in person or come and chat with us about what the program is about, and really learn a little bit about what we're hoping the students will get out of it. So, and we're hoping it's just going to be a really fun day up on top of Mount LeConte with the Hike the Smokies community. I know you guys have done that before, and if it's rainy, we'll probably have a rain date. It's not set yet, but we'll keep you posted on that. So we hope to see you on Mount LeConte on June 9th, and then also out at Tremont during the meet and greet on August 18th.
We got a quick school announcement, and then we're going to wrap this feed up here.
When we go to the park, we get away from the bells, the announcements.
So we're going to wrap it up here, but I wanted to personally thank Joe Gunther really quickly, owner of the Day Hiker in Gatlinburg, and really the founder and the driver of the Hike the Smokies community. He is an amazing individual who is a champion of Tremont and stepped up to the plate as soon as we pitched this idea of having Hike the Smokies really drive this campaign and trying to raise this $50,000 with this particular community. He thought it was a great idea, a great opportunity for the community to do something really meaningful and to rally for a cause. And so I just wanted to express our gratitude for him and for all that he is doing to help make this happen as well. He'll be posting to the Hike the Smokies group updates on the campaign as well as we go forward. So thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much to the Hike the Smokies community, to Tremont Institute's community, to all the park supporters out there, to all the champions that are going to help us make this happen and make sure that young kids are having the experiences that they deserve and that they need to have to be our environmental and community leaders for the next generation. It's incredibly important work, and we couldn't do it without you and without your support. So we thank you in advance for driving this campaign, for sharing it, and for helping us make the dream happen. So reach out to us with your comments, with your questions. Visit the donation page, see some of the fun different donation levels that you can contribute to. We appreciate any support you can give. Thank you so much. You guys have anything else we wanted to say before we sign off?
So excited.
Yeah, so excited. I'm so lucky, and thank you so much for your support.
All right. Thanks again.